Okay, here she is, my vision board for 2020. And I am just incredibly excited about this board. There's so many elements about it that I want to share with you, but I'm hoping that you've listened to this week's episode of the podcast where I've really been able to take a moment to cast the vision for why I think this is important. And now I want to walk you through my board, and hopefully this will inspire you as you create your own. So as we can see here, we've got 2020, and of course this is the year, but for me, it's also about clarity of vision. It's about expectations of 20 in 20. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that as big things I'm grateful for or 20, things I want to try this year. I'm not sure how I want to do 20 in 20 just yet, but I wanted to represent it more than just a year, but I wanted to also have some meaning behind that. So I made sure that was prominent. And then up at the top, you see I have Shine On. And Shine On for me is just a message of, in spite of the challenges I might face this year and the hardships that might come up for this year, I want to continue to let the light that God has placed in me shine in spite of the darkness that can be around, in spite of the darkness that may come from within sometimes. Hello, somebody. I want to still shine on and press on. And then what's next? Here at the top, what's next is a message for me, because as I move forward, I just want to keep my eye on horizon for what's next with a hopeful expectation of the days ahead of what's to come. And that leads into that picture underneath that, where for me, that's a sunrise. And it's a beautiful depiction of a beautiful morning over the water. Gorgeousness, right? There's the stillness with yet still such power within this image for me. And then that waterfall for me represents abundance. And I want to have so much abundance in my life this year around time, around energy, around health, and so many other aspects of my life. So that abundance that's shown in that picture, not to mention that water just really does something for me. I love to be around water, whether it's an ocean or a lake or a river or a stream. I enjoy being around water. So when I saw that picture, it was an absolute yes. And then that just comes right down into right in the middle here, I've got the scripture. And this is Psalms 23, only verses 1 through 4. I don't have 5 and 6 on here. And this is a scripture that came up for me many times towards the end of 2019. There was a song that came up that I just couldn't get out of my head. And then I was reading that scripture. Someone mentioned that scripture. It just it kept coming around. And when I went to my mother-in-law's we went down there to do the vision boards, this particular scripture sheet was sitting there on the table as part of the things that we could use for our vision board. And I thought, that's it. The way this scripture keeps popping up, I want to put this prominently on my board and continue to look at it daily and meditate on the truth of it. And right now, our entire family is reading this scripture every single day and meditating on it. So it's just really a strong part of how we're starting 2020. Now, speaking of strong, how is that tiger eye? Come on, the eye of the tiger, which represents passion and focus and intention. And it says such, raw force, and it just has such power and strength in that shot. And my girls teased me. They were like, Mom, I don't think I could wake up every morning looking at that tiger eye looking at me. And I'm here for it. I love it. Every time I wake up and I see that, I just smile because I think, yes, that's the kind of focus and intention I want to have about what God has for me this year. And then there were just little words that came out to me. There was confident and listen courageously. And then this little quote, in case you can't read it, it says, the biggest challenges and biggest successes are interlaced with our ability to take risks. And so, of course, there are going to be moments this year where I'm going to be tempted to pull back, and I need to shine on, as we say up here and over here, take risks. And then my word for the year is align. And that word has already come up in so many ways for me, and I love to keep it before my face and to really remind myself of this is the word for the year. And then we have this picture here of this table, and it has so many elements of things I enjoy. So the simplicity of the design, the roundness of the table, which says an invitation to all to come around. Let's have conversations that matter. Let's discuss things that really matter in life. Let's come around and share ideas and grow together. And then this quote that says, gifts inspired by a life well traveled Well, I enjoy travel and I look forward to doing more of that in 2020. And so the gifts that are within me, I think, are inspired and enriched and deepened when I get to interact with different countries and cultures and people with different backgrounds and experiences than I. And I love that idea of gifts inspired by a life well traveled, that round table of discussion, of gathering, of meals, of celebrations, and then coming over to this image of a mother kissing her daughter. Well, you know that I've got 6 girls, and I got my favorite son, because he's my only son. I just didn't see a shot that really captured that. But for me, it's just a mother's love, a mother's tenderness, a mother's care, a mother's embrace. And that is such a huge part of who I am and what I focus on and really lean into in my experience day to day. So I wanted to have that shot. And then I've got this bed. So this bed, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but that's actually on a cruise ship. And I was like, oh, I want a cruise ship room that looks like that. Hello. So I put that shot on there, but that says so many different things to me. So it says get away. It says relax. It says time away with my hubby, because there's the his and her robes. That's what I'm calling that in the image. And then it says elevate expectations. So I want to look for opportunities to elevate even the expectations that I have to, take it up a notch. Like dream a bigger dream and continue to lean into possibilities. And for he and I to make time to get away, because we have been working incredibly hard, and I want to spend some time away with him and enjoy him and go to new places and do it in a place where we feel relaxed and at ease. And so much about that picture just makes me exhale. And I love the juxtaposition of this focus and intention and this rest and relaxation. Like I want both of those to be connecting in my life this year. And I just love how that ended up coming together. And it's only as I'm reflecting back on the board that I'm seeing these things. I want you to know that. Like I was putting these pictures together in a way that was just fun and I was enjoying the process. But it's now when I reflect back on it that I began to see different elements coming out where I go, I like the way that happened. So as you look at my board and you see how I put in quotes and words and ideas, I want you to be inspired to give this a try for your own board.